Greetings, salutations, house cadavata, however you say it in your neck of the woods. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of L'Art of Read and Price Action. Again, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of The Art of Read and Price Action. And in this episode of L'Art of Read and Price Action, we will be talking about internal and external liquidity. Before we get started, I'd like to just say to everyone who's been reaching out to me asking how to join the mentorship, there will be a link somewhere to join. It's a join button here on YouTube. It's a YouTube tier membership. It's all directed by you. You sign up, you cancel whenever you want. I have no control over it. I can't put you in it. It's on you. Now, click that join button and make sure you pick the tier that says mentorship. And then you'll be a part of the mentorship. It's $24.99 a month. Yes, all the videos are here for free on the tube every Friday night at 7 p.m. That's if I record one that week. And what do you get for the $24.99 a month? You get access to me. You get access to the private Discord where we cover homework every Wednesday at 7 p.m. We have Q&As for the mentees specifically on the second Sunday of every month, but the mentees have access to the first, second, and third Sunday Q&A because that's the highest tier. So at the highest tier, you get access to all the other tiers. So that's how you join it. If you'd like to do that, click the join button. Now, without further ado, let us get into L'Art of Read and Price Action. Internal and external liquidity. Now, how does price move? Price is always seeking liquidity and imbalances. That's all it's doing. It's moving around out there looking for liquidity and imbalances. Now, the way I understand liquidity is by using an analogy I like to call the box analogy. Well, Tim, what's the box analogy? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Let me tell you what the box analogy is. Look over here. The box analogy. You know what? Before we do that, before I get into the box analogy, on the slides that is, I'm a visual learner. I learned visually. So let me give you a visual representation of what the box analogy is. Come on me. So this is a box. It's a Jordan box, but it's a box, right? So when it comes to price action, I like to use the analogy of a box because I'm a visual learner. Help me to see it visually in my mind. As price goes up, it's going to make a high, a swing high, if you will, and that's represented by the top of the box. As price goes down, it's going to make a low, a swing low, and it's going to be represented by the bottom of the box. Now, what's on the outside of the box? Any PD array that's higher than the top of the box or higher than the highest high is considered external liquidity. Any PD array that's lower than the lowest low is considered external liquidity. Now, what can be inside the box? It can be fair value gaps, imbalances. It can be lower time frame swing highs and swing lows because it'll be lower time frame liquidity resting above those swing highs and resting below those swing lows. So you have your box top, you have your box bottom. Anything that's on the outside of the highest high, let's just say a swing high, that would be external liquidity. Anything that's inside the box, let's say a fair value gap or a lower time frame, high or low, that'll be internal liquidity. So inside the box, internal liquidity. Outside the box, external liquidity. And that's my box analogy. And oh yeah, ignore the fact that my shirt different. I didn't record these at the same time. Now, let's get back into the slide, shall we? The box analogy. The highest high in the range is the box top. Remember, like with the Jordan box, the box top. And the lowest low in the range is the box bottom. So you got your swing high is the highest high in the range, and your swing low is the lowest low in the range. Highest high, lowest low. Okay. Buy stops above the range, that's external liquidity. Sell stops below the range, that's external liquidity. Imbalances that's in between that highest high and the lowest low. Remember the dunks, the red and white dunks that was in the box? That's the internal liquidity. Right? Lower time frame swing highs and swing lows. That's internal liquidity because price is fractal. So you have lower time frame swing highs and swing lows in there where it's going to be some liquidity resting below and above highs and lows, or lows and highs. And here's the gag. On that time frame, that's external liquidity too. Stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks, layers on layers. Internal and external liquidity. The box theory. That's the easiest way I can explain it. Right? Now, when it comes to price moving from internal to external liquidity, price moves in a continuation pattern and price moves in a reversal pattern. In a continuation pattern or a trending market, price moves from a external liquidity. It'll take external, take buy stops. Remember the red and white dunks on the top. It go and it take those red and white dunks at the top or at the bottom. The buy stops or the sell stops. Then it retraces back into the range and attack a imbalance, fair value gap, if you will. Lower time frame highs and lows. And then it trades back to the external, going back for more buy side or more sell side, depending on if it's going up or down. Now in a reversal, price moves from external to external. So just say we take sell side liquidity. Then price retraces, but instead of retracing to the imbalance, it just blows through that bearish fair value gap and continues up and takes out the buy side at the highest high or that swing high at the top. That's a signature of a reversal. I know you're saying, Tim, you doing all this talking, but I ain't seeing no charts. Let's get into the chart, shall we? And now that we're in the charts, let me pull up my fancy dancy, follow the bouncing ball. Now, I want you to turn your attention to the price action over here. And we are going to focus on that swing high and that swing low right there. This is our price range right here. This is our price leg. In this case, this is a dealing range because we've taken out liquidity on both sides, right? So this is our dealing range. This is our price leg. But we're talking about internal and external liquidity. So this is the highest high and this is the lowest low of the range. Now, when price came down, what did price do? Price took out external liquidity because from this swing low to this swing high, this is external liquidity. So as price came down, it took out the external liquidity. And then once price took out this external liquidity right here, what did price do? Price moved back into the range to an imbalance, which is internal liquidity, right? So it moved, taking out external, moved back to internal. And as you see, it continued down. This is a continuation, right? This is price moves from external to internal, right? This swing low is external. This swing high is external. Then it moved from internal to external and just internal to external. So price moves from external to internal to external to internal to external, internal. Y'all get the picture, right? That's a continuation pattern. Box top, box bottom. External liquidity, buy side, rest up here. Sell side, external liquidity, imbalances inside there. Internal, external liquidity. Now, let's focus on this external liquidity right there. Well, Tim, why do you want to focus on that external liquidity? Because that external liquidity right there, when we hit it here, price was telling us something. Well, what was price telling us, Tim? Let's go and see. As price came up, we took out external liquidity. We moved back to internal liquidity. Then we took out external liquidity. So price is in a continuation pattern, a trending pattern, a bullish trend here, if you will. But once price made this swing high, it immediately turned around and took out that external liquidity right there. So it moved from external, went through the internal, down to external. Because from this swing low to this swing high, we took out external liquidity, creating an imbalance inside this range, inside this price leg, inside this dealing range. Dealing range here, we took out liquidity, we took out liquidity. So you got a dealing range here, a price leg here. It pushed through the imbalance, the internal liquidity, and continued down and took out external liquidity. That's a signature of a reversal. And as you see, price started to trend down as we saw earlier. So it's really simple today. That brings us to your favorite part, let homework. I want you to go back through price and find examples of price moving from external liquidity, ERL, external range liquidity, that's what that is, to internal range liquidity, IRL. And I want you to do this on a 4-hour chart. Right? Go back through it, find it on a 4-hour chart, and then I want you to take notes on the 4-hour and on the 60-minute charts of how price reacted during those moves. So I want you to take note of how it reacted on the 4-hour chart, and then I want you to take notes of how it reacted on the 60-minute chart so you can get an understanding of how price is moving on the time frame you're watching and also on a lower time frame. And if you feel up to it, you can do it in comparisons of the 4-hour chart and the 15-minute chart. That way you will have the 2 time frame difference so that you can see how it reacts on an entry time frame based off the way I like to trade. You have the 4-hour chart and the 15-minute chart. The 15-minute will be your entry time frame if you were watching it on the 4-hour chart. So that brings us to the end of another episode of Le Art of Reading Price Action. Again, it's your boy, Timothy Lee Rogers Sr. Did I say that in the beginning? Did I introduce myself in the beginning? If I did not, I jalapize. But it's your boy, Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., a.k.a. Aranya Grande. That's Big Spider for my non-Spanish speaking compadres. Till the next time, man. Y'all be safe out in these trade streets. I'm gone. Yeah.